There's blood on the passenger door of that vehicle that belongs to Angela. What do you know about this, Richie? I know you know something.
I don't know anything.
And that's when she like looked at me and she was like, I love you. And I was just, I don't know, it was just weird.
On the morning of November 3rd, 2015, Angela Wilder, a pregnant mother of 3, was found dead in her home, the victim of a frenzied stabbing attack. And once her husband's involvement had been eliminated, suspicion immediately fell on her ex-husband, Richie.
So you had nothing to do with Angela's death?
No.
Not organizing it at all?
Nothing.
Did you kill her?
No.
No?
No.
But was Richie really capable of killing his ex-wife, the mother of 2 of his children, in such a brutal manner? What could have driven him to do it, and to what extent was his new wife, Cynthia, involved? These were all questions the police needed to answer, but in searching for these answers, they would uncover far more about Richie's secret life and Cynthia's troubled character than they ever could have expected. Chris Jackson, Angela's live-in boyfriend, had already spoken to Angela several times during his night shift at Walmart, so when she didn't pick up during his last break of the night, he just put it down to her being asleep because she was tired. But then, when she didn't turn up to collect him at the end of his shift, he began to worry, and when he arrived home in a taxi to find the door of their home kicked in, he knew instinctively that something terrible had happened. He immediately called the police, and resisting his natural urge to rush into the house to look for Angela and their young child, he waited outside as the police had instructed him. Then, when the police arrived and entered the premises, they made a grim discovery. Because inside the house, lying in a pool of her own blood, they found Angela's lifeless body with 44 stab wounds to her face, neck, and chest. Within hours, Chris found himself in the police station being questioned about the murder. But Angela's ex-husband, Richie, was also picked up, and Richie was quickly identified as the prime suspect for this horrific crime. To say that Angela and Richie had a strained relationship would be an understatement, and this was something everyone knew. In fact, it would be more accurate to say that the pair simply couldn't stand each other, so much so that a judge had ordered them to communicate only through email, so there would be a record of everything that was said. Angela and Richie had met in an Alabama church that they both attended, and in 2009, the couple were married. However, their union quickly soured, and with hindsight, they probably should have never married in the first place. Their sometimes abusive marriage was always destined for failure, and by 2012, they were already divorced. After that, they would surely have just gone their separate ways and put their unhappy relationship behind them, but unfortunately, that wasn't possible, because by the time they divorced, they already had 2 children together, and custody arrangements would continue to create tension between the 2 sides in the years that followed. According to the agreement in place at the time of the murder, Angela and Richie would take turns looking after the 2 kids on a rotating weekly basis. The handover took place every Sunday at a designated location, and by this time, Angela and Richie's relationship would have deteriorated so much that Angela's boyfriend, Chris, would drop the kids off or pick them up each week without her, so that Angela and Richie wouldn't even need to see each other. But even with these arrangements in place, the animosity between the 2 sides was clear, and Chris later told police how Richie's wife, Cynthia, would sit in their car, scowling at him, while Richie would mutter insults under his breath every time the weekly exchange took place. For their part, Richie and Cynthia felt that Angela was doing her best to turn the kids against them. During the police interrogation, Richie talked about Angela's manipulative nature, saying she made the kids choose sides and left them unsure who to trust. Although they had no direct contact, Cynthia also felt strong antagonism towards Angela, telling police how each time the kids came back from their week with Angela, it would take several days to get them back into their normal routine. Cynthia showed clear animosity toward Angela and resented her deeply, and she certainly didn't have a good word to say about her husband's former partner. Clearly, this situation was far from ideal for anybody involved, and something had to change. But were Richie and Cynthia really capable of going as far as murdering Angela to resolve their issues? This was something the cops urgently needed to establish. With suspicion immediately falling on Richie, he was the first person the police needed to speak to. They wanted to find out more about his relationship with his ex-wife and the custody situation with the kids, but they also had other matters they wanted to question him on. At the start of his first interview with the police, Richie begins by talking about his relationship with Angela, explaining that their direct contact is minimal, and that he now does the changeover with Chris to help keep the peace. He He also discusses an incident that happened while they were still married and Richie was in the Air Force. At that time, they were living on Minot Air Base in North Dakota, and Richie explains how he was discharged from the military after allegedly assaulting Angela by choking her, something he continues to deny. This was the event that finally led to the couple's divorce. The detectives let him talk, but then one of them starts slowly turning up the pressure by asking Richie about some suspicious injuries he appears to have on his face and thumb.
What happened to your face?
Right
You got
here.
a scratch in your
Yeah,
face.
that's from my.
and on your nose.
Yeah, that's from my. But no, this one's not my son. It's just a pimple, but this one's from my.
How old is your? Okay, and how did that happen?
We play wrestle / play fight, and sometimes the tiger and claws me up. He has long fingernails sometimes. So
When did that happen?
that happened yesterday.
Okay, tell me about the scenario of what you guys were doing when that happened.
Oh, just in the living room. I usually get on my knees and we kind of play around someone and get him attacked and pretend to eat.
And the thing I don't want to hear is usually.
Oh,
I mean, tell me exactly what happened.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
We were just playing in the living room. I was on my knees. I was chasing him, grabbing him, tickling him. Sometimes I pretend to like eat. And usually when I'm that close, I start clawing instead of pretend punching. So,
That was yesterday at what time?
probably around 10 or 11.
Yesterday morning, or
Yes, sir. Yeah, because they take a nap around 12 o'clock.
how about your thumb? Would you do that?
That I jammed I jammed it, the door got slammed on yesterday with all that wind. So,
Which door?
if you're looking at my car, the driver back door. Because we went grocery shopping after I picked up, and then when we came home from grocery shopping, what I do is when I get the kids out, I go from the driver back door, buckle, and then I get not on that side, I grab with one arm, and it's easier to do that. Reach and grab, pull upside down, and I had my hand like this on the car, and the wind just smacked the crap out of my hand.
And that was after you picked up from
School.
From school?
Yes, sir.
And what time did you pick her up from school?
Picked her up, let's see, yesterday would have been, I'd say around 3:10. It's usually when I pick up. Or when I pick up, sorry.
Okay. And who all picked her up? Just you, or
It's me.
doesn't go to any preschool or anything like that?
Not anymore, no, sir.
So then it was just the four of you that went to the store when your thumb got slammed to the door?
Yes, sir. But it got slammed once we got home, which was about 4:30.
About 4:30?
Yes.
And what store did you go to again?
The Marketplace Foods on North Hill.
And why did you go there?
It's close to my house. So.
And what did you need to get there? Did you have a list, or?
A mental list. So I kind of get some things and then forget one thing and got it. So, or if I saw something I thought we could use, I would grab it. But main things was milk, cheese, butter. What else was there? I know milk, cheese, and butter were the main things I was going for. So I bought a few more things.
You consider yourself a smart man, Richie?
Depending on what it is.
Okay. You can certainly put two and two together, right?
Yes, sir.
From the news that you heard and from talking to your neighbor and looking on Facebook and everything. You said yes to that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know.
So what is the two and two that you put together in this situation?
Well, somebody passed away. I know that. I just don't know who.
Okay. Who do you think?
Well, if I'm here, it's either little one or Angela. I don't think I was calling you.
Well, why do you say her or Angela? I mean, why do you say?
Well, Angela, because she's my ex. Because her background of domestic abuse against so.
So you think by putting two and two together, you think that either Angela is dead or the is dead?
Yes.
And how do you come to that conclusion?
Because y'all came to my door. I don't know why y'all would come to my door.
So you know that something took place at Angela's house.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I'm getting at.
Oh, yeah. No, and then it said...
Are they the only two that live there?
No, Chris lives there too.
Okay.
But I have like no relations with Chris.
Okay.
So...
Well, what if we said there was something wrong with Chris? I mean, why do you rule him out?
Just because I don't have any relations with him. Like, I don't know, I guess.
You got a pretty big relationship with him. He's dating the mother of one of your children.
That's true, but if they broke up tomorrow, then I'd never...
But I mean, and he delivers the kids to you. I mean, you said that in the interview here.
Oh, yeah.
But, so, does he, and he lives there as well, you said, right?
Yes, he does.
So why are you ruling him out? That there could be an issue with him?
I don't know. I just, like I said, there's no, there's no connection to me between him and I know he goes to exchanges and they're together, but like I said, if he, I don't know, if he...
Let me give an example. I like to give examples.
No, that's okay.
People that live across the street from me, I don't know who they are.
Okay.
It's a man and a woman that live there. If all of a sudden I was suspicious that something happened there and there's somebody that's deceased there, I wouldn't just say, yeah, I think the lady's dead, unless I saw the man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure out why you came to the conclusion that something happened to either or Angela.
I guess that's what I'm saying. Maybe I can see if I can explain it better.
Are you understanding me, or am I not being clear?
I understand you.
Okay.
I don't think I'm being clear. I'm trying to figure out how to say it with being clear. I know he's a part of their life, but like him and I don't have a connection. I don't know if that makes sense. Plus,
it's not making any sense to me because I don't mean to sit and pick on this.
No, it's okay.
But again, with my example, if I knew there was 5 people in the house and I knew that one of them was dead, one of the 5 people that live there is dead, then I would know that it's either 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I wouldn't say, well, I think out of the 5, and there's one person dead there, I think it's either 1, 3, and 5. I wouldn't come to that conclusion because I have nothing else to base that on. You know what I mean? So why are you leaving out Chris?
I guess mainly just guessing. I guess
guessing that either something happened to or
Angela. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why, I don't know. I just know, if the news is right, it's a suspicious death, so somebody died. That's the first thing, when I read that. And then, like I said, some people have been messaging me and stuff and talking to them. If it involved him, I don't think he ought to be here. I don't know.
Why not?
Well, I don't know. Like I said, because he's not. We're not. I mean, I know how you're saying we're connected, but to me, we're not connected. Because, like I said, they broke up. If they broke up today, then he's gone. I never.
If they did, but they didn't break up today.
Yeah.
As of right now, you know that 3 people live in that house.
Yes.
And you know that they have a relationship.
Yes.
And you know that he acts as the father figure of that house.
Yes.
Okay. Help me understand that. Why are you ruling him out?
I guess just trying to make a guess out of it. Because you said, what do I think? So it's trying to guess, I guess.
Okay. Well, then we'll have to just agree that it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't think I understand.
That's not the case. I mean, we're doing an investigation here, and obviously this is serious. We have you down here. Yeah. And I'll tell you, Angela's dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the only person that we think could have something to do with this, from the information that we've gathered so far, is you.
Yeah.
So what do you know about that?
Know about what?
About Angela being dead?
Nothing, just what you said.
There's nobody around here that has any beef, any issues with her. She's not even from this area.
Oh, yeah.
The only people, from what we've gathered so far, that are in her life are her kids, you, Cindy, and Chris.
Yeah.
So that's what brings us here today.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of fingers pointing right at you.
Oh, yeah. Because I'm her ex-husband, right?
Well, you're her ex-husband, and you guys have a volatile relationship.
Yeah.
Your history.
Yeah, we don't have good history.
And I'm suspicious about the scratch on your face. Any other suspicions that I've had, other than you, I've been able to put to bed, if you will. Because we have had other suspicions. We don't try and get tunnel vision on these cases. We try and look at the big picture. But it's right now it's narrowed down to you. Did you hurt her?
No.
How can you prove to me that I'm looking at the wrong person?
Well, I don't know when this happened, but I know yesterday I was with my kids, and Cindy came home, and then we had dinner, and I went to work, and I came home, and then I slept. And I woke up this morning. So,
Say that again.
Mike, yesterday I was with the kids.
Okay.
Because I watch the kids all day. And then Cindy came home, we ate dinner, and then I got ready for work, went to work, worked my 4 hours, and came home and then slept, and Cindy was with me while we were sleeping.
Pretty damning when you call family members and they're obviously upset because her family members aren't here, so I haven't talked to them in person. You know that.
Yeah.
Pretty damning when they say through their tears, Richie.
Yeah, nobody.
Richie. And really, there's nobody else. I mean, unless you can shed some light on it. But right now, I think something happened. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it happened, how it happened, but I think you can fill in those blanks.
I can't.
I think you can. I really think you can. I'm more convinced now, sitting here looking at you as we're having this conversation, than I was 5 minutes ago when you were carrying on a decent conversation with Detective Mattice. The thing is things happen.
Yeah.
There's two sides to every story.
Yeah.
And in this case, I'm really curious to see what your side of this story is, because I'm convinced that something happened. I don't know what it is, and I don't know how bad that makes you look, or not, but something happened.
It wasn't with me.
Who was it with then?
I don't know.
What do you know about this?
I don't know anything about it. That's why when I saw the thing on Facebook and people were messaging me, I had no clue what's going on. My wife's like, "Hey, there's cop cars at your ex-wife's house," and the neighbor's like, "Oh, there's a banner around." Like, I don't.
Do you have a temper, Richie?
When I was younger, I had a pretty good temper.
Do you have a temper now?
No, I keep myself in check pretty well.
Just as we sit and talk about this, you know how the look in their face changes, and mine might even change just talking to you too, because I just, angry is not the word, but I just feel different when we're talking about this, because I strongly believe that you know more than what you're telling us.
And if I did, I would tell you.
And it may be something that's not good for you.
Yeah.
But I just told you that the mother of your, is it child or children?
Children.
Children, yeah.
2 children.
Children, is dead. And no matter how much you hate her, she's still half the blood of your children. And I don't believe that you're that tough just to say she's not.
Well, I'm not saying it like that.
Well, that's what I'm getting.
I work at the hospital, so it's we have our poker face. You gotta have it every time somebody passes
Yeah, but
away.
she's not a hospital patient. She was in your life for many years.
I know, but it's
had
just,
children for you.
I know. It's just how I made myself. Doesn't mean when I go home I won't.
We work in the same type of field you do. We see this stuff all the time. But if something happens to our family, we still have a reaction to it.
Yeah.
The interview continues, and Richie continues to deny all knowledge of what happened. But then the cop drops in an unexpected piece of information that must have affected him, despite his poker face, and Richie appears stunned into silence for a few minutes.
Then what happened to her?
I have no clue.
You're the one with the history of the volatile history with her.
Yeah.
Chris isn't. Chris?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, they were thinking about getting married, right?
I have no clue.
Maybe you don't.
I try not to get into their personal life too much.
Well, they had one kid. They had one on the way. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, she's pregnant. Or was pregnant.
2 months.
Your DNA is not going to show up anywhere on her.
No. It's not possible. What are you in there?
Going to show up under her fingernails. Your DNA is not going to show up in her house.
No. I've never been to her house.
Well, I remember that's what you said. That's why I'm
Yeah. No.
verifying
That's
that.
what I'm saying. I've never been to her house. Like, we distinctly, like, make that a rule or an unknown rule, however you want to say that.
You know where she lives.
I do. Yeah, we have to have each other's addresses. That's an important feature. And, like, updated phone numbers, just in case of an emergency.
And obviously we check video, or we'll be working on video. Your car's not going to show up in that neighborhood anywhere around any of the businesses or anything
No.
the last week.
No.
Okay. Well, I know that's not true. Should show up showing you going to Longfellow.
Yeah, I've been getting.
Okay. So other than that, is that going to show up at any time?
No.
So you had nothing to do with Angela's death.
No. Nothing.
Not planning it, not organizing it at all.
Nothing.
Did you kill her?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
After this, Richie continues to deny having any involvement in Angela's death, and he strenuously denies the possibility that Cynthia could have anything to do with what happened. By this point, the police suspect him even more strongly than before, but after his DNA samples and even the clothes he's wearing are collected, he is released to return home. However, in the weeks that followed, the evidence the police collected and everything else they discovered during their investigation pointed strongly to Richie's involvement, and he was subsequently arrested and taken into custody. But then, while in custody, Richie introduced a new version of events in an attempt to account for the evidence that implicated him in the crime scene. The police had recovered Richie's DNA from under Angela's fingernails, despite Richie's assertion that they never had any contact, and they also identified traces of her blood in his car. Now he tried to explain these facts by admitting he had been present when Angela was murdered, but he said he had been with Chris at the time, and Chris was the one who killed her. According to this new version of events, Chris had approached him with a plan to gain sole custody of the child he had with Angela by catching her cheating on him. And for this, he needed Richie's help. He wanted Richie to be present as a witness when he surprised Angela in the act, and the pair would then support each other's claims against Angela in court for sole custody of their respective children. Richie claims he agreed to go along with this plan, and on the night of the murder, he picked Chris up during a break in his shift at Walmart and drove him to his house to try to catch Angela in bed with another man. He reveals this plan in an interview with the police and then describes to them what happened after he met Chris in his car.
And that was about 2:15?
About 2:15-ish, yes, sir. And then, so we got in, so we drove back to his house. We got out of the car, he unlocked the door, we went in, and I just followed him. We went up some stairs and went through like a living room with a light on or whatever. And then he opened their bedroom door, and I just stayed at their bedroom door because I was just...
Okay, so how did he open the door? Get into the house?
With a key.
Okay. And then you walked in and describe that again for me. There was a living room, or tell me exactly what you saw when you...
Oh, okay. Well, I was following him, and I've never been there before, so I didn't know where we were going. But we walked in, and then we went up some stairs, and then we went through a room. I think it was the kitchen, because I was following, but had tile or something on. And then we went through I'm assuming it's their living room with a light on and their couch and stuff. And then we went, turned the corner, and then he went to the room on the right. And when he opened the door, that was their bedroom. There's a bed and a dresser and stuff in there.
So he opened the door?
He opened the door.
Okay. Where were you at this time?
I was still behind him, and as he was going in the room, I just stood at their bedroom door. Because I was supposed to be just a witness to see who this person was that she was, supposed to be cheating. And when we opened the door, there was the cover was pulled over, and there was somebody here and somebody here. It looked like there was two people in the bed, So as soon as he opened the door, he went around to would have been the far side or whatever. And as he went around to the far side, he grabbed the cover, and I'm thinking, okay, he's going to pull back the cover. We're going to see who this person is, And so as he pulled back the cover, he grabbed her. And of course, when he pulled back the cover, the first thing I noticed, there wasn't a person on the left. That was a body pillow. You know what I'm talking about? A body pillow. So,
one of those long 5 foot.
Yeah, it wasn't I thought it wasn't a person. So I was like, oh man. So in my mind, I'm thinking, she was just lying to him and getting him worked up, She likes to do that sometimes, or a lot. And so I was like, oh, well, she just, lied to him, whatever. But when he went around to that side and he pulled the cover back, he grabbed her and he just started making a motion. And there started blood, so I'm assuming he was stabbing her. And of course, my ex-wife's not somebody that just gives into things. She doesn't just roll over and, do whatever you want kind of person, So of course she went to fight back, and he drug her off the bed and he kept just stabbing her. And he just kept stabbing her. And I was like, what the f*** are you doing, man? I ran over there. I touched her neck to feel her pulse, because she was kind of going, and there was just blood everywhere. And as I would touch her pulse, whatever, she leaned up and scratched the mess out of my face. I grabbed her hands, and she was just like, I love you. And then he just started stabbing her more. And I was like, what the f*** are you doing? So I walked out of the room into the living room, and he came, he was it was violent. It wasn't anything that was it was just violent. Anyway, so I walked in the living room, and I'm just thinking, what's going on? There's nobody in the bed. I just, I don't, it doesn't make sense. We're supposed to be catching somebody so we can use things in court, and he's just going crazy. But I walk in the living room, he comes in the living room, and I start walking towards him because I'm screw this, you know what I mean? This dude's crazy. And he's like, if you tell anybody, he's like, I'm gonna kill your wife and I'm gonna kill your the littlest one. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. I was like, you're not gonna kill anybody, man.
I was getting mad, you know, because things were just going crazy. And I was like, you're not gonna kill anybody, man. And he was like, yeah, I am. He's like, I'm gonna kill your wife. He's like, plus if you do something to me, this is my house. He's like, what do you think it's gonna look like if you and I get into it and the cops show up and you're at my house and your ex-wife's dead in the next room? I was like, I don't know, I just stopped. And he's like, I'm serious. He's like, you try anything? He's like, I'll just call the cops. And you're in my house with me and you're attacking me with with your ex-wife and she's dead. He's like, what do you think they're gonna say? And I was just like, I was like, I don't know what to do, you know. And he's like, I'm serious. He's like, you say anything. He's like, they're gonna die. And he's like, and then when he calls him, he's like, and it will be mine, you know, because they're hers or, you know, his, whatever. And so I don't know. I was like, man, F this. And then he went to the kitchen and grabbed a rag. It's a red rag. I remember that specifically because there was so much blood in the red. He grabbed that and I watched him, he had a knife, like a pocket knife, and he folded it, put it in the rag and wrapped it up. And then he wanted the phone, so I gave him that phone, you know, the one he gave me. And then we got back to the car, and in the car, it was pretty before we even got to the car, we were coming out the house, and as we came out the house, he locked the door from the inside, you know what I'm talking about?
Did you go out the same way that you came in?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And he locked this is the back door. Sorry, we went in the back door, not the front door.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's like a back door, right? But he locked it, he shut it, and he said, man, he's like, well, we got to make it look like somebody broke in. So he kicked the door in, and then he pulled it back shut, you know, I'm assuming it's shut or whatever. And then I didn't say anything. I just walked over to the car. We got in the car, and then he's like, I'm serious. He's like, if you say something, he's like, I'm telling you. He's like, I'm gonna kill your wife, and I'm gonna kill your kid. I'm thinking in my mind, I just saw what he did to my ex-wife. There's no way, you know, I want him doing that to my wife. My wife is 4'11", you know, and she's little, and my ex-wife couldn't fight him off. He's a big guy. How's my wife gonna fight him off? You know, I just got a lot of things running through my head. So I took him back to Walmart. And right before he got out, you know, dropped him off at the same spot. Right before he got out, he said the same thing. You know, I'm just threatening my family. So
so you drove the Honda then from the house back to Walmart?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, and where did Chris ride?
In the passenger seat.
Okay, and where did you drop him off?
The same place, right there at that entrance, the back part of where the automotive is.
Okay, so the driveway off 37th Avenue.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and did you pull into the driveway or?
No, I just on 30 I just pulled up right there, got out, and I just did a U-turn same way when I picked him up.
Okay. I'm gonna back up to, well, what time did you drop him off back at Walmart?
Around 2:45, 2:50. Everything happened real fast. Like, I mean, it felt like it was like forever, like slow motion, but it all like happened fast too. You know?
How do you know it was that time?
Because like on the pilot, there's a clock, and I just remember looking at the clock, and I know what do you call it? I know he said he had to be back by 3, you know, because we were supposed to just go in there, find who was cheating with, you know, and then we are just gonna get out of there. It wasn't supposed to turn into like this long argument or, you know, or whatever.
How do you know that he had to be back by 3?
That's what he said.
Just that he has to be back by 3?
He said, I just got to be back by 3. I'm assuming he was on his lunch break. I don't know. So, only way I know you can take time off work like that and leave is you have to be on like his lunch break or something.
Did he go back to Walmart wearing the same clothes that he had on at the house?
Yeah, he didn't change. There was no, as soon as all that happened, we went, and he kicked the door. We just got back in the car and left. That was it.
And you're wearing the same clothes, or you were wearing the same clothes that you had on in the house?
Yes, sir.
Did you have blood on you?
My hands, not covered, but my hands had a little bit from where I went to touch her neck and grabbed her hands, you know, because I remember seeing it, and I remember just driving with my wrist because, you know, there's blood on my hands.
Did you have to clean up at all?
I did.
Where did you clean up?
My sink in my bathroom.
Back at your apartment?
Back at my apartment.
Okay. How about your clothes? Do you still have those clothes?
Well, yeah, y'all took the pants
Okay, those were the
and the
pants
jacket.
you were wearing.
and that jacket.
Okay.
You know,
And those were the exact clothes that you were
those
wearing.
are exact clothes and those same shoes too.
Okay.
Because those are my slip-ons. They're easy to take on and off.
Okay.
With this new story, Richie believed he had accounted for why his DNA was found under his ex-wife's fingernails and why her blood had been found in his car. But the detectives weren't buying it, and soon Richie would face a devastating piece of evidence he couldn't explain away. The fact that he had dropped Chris back at work wearing the same clothes, which would have been covered in blood after the stabbing attack, didn't make sense, but the cop didn't dwell on this aspect. Instead, he focused more on the timings, asking Richie to confirm repeatedly that he had picked Chris up at about 2:15 a.m. and dropped him back off again at around 2:45 or 2:50. He also made a point of checking how Richie knew this, and this line of questioning was all very deliberate. But after reviewing Richie's new story and cross-referencing key details, the detective prepared to reveal critical evidence that would dismantle Richie's account.
But it doesn't fit. What you're telling us does not fit. Because I know that Chris did not leave Walmart during the hours that you say that he did. I know that 100%.
He did though.
He did not. I've verified that. I got very little sleep last night because I verified that. You were involved in this, Richie. Obviously. You've told us some truths, but not everything.
I told you everything that happened.
No, you didn't. Chris did not leave Walmart during those times.
I know he did, but I picked him up.
I know he didn't because I watched him on video. I watched the minutes click by. I just watched that.
Last night.
I watched him at work. We saved all that video for a reason. I was given more video last night that I need to turn over to the state's attorney's office today. Video that I didn't even know
Oh, yeah.
that they had still. You're in a tough situation. I mean, I don't know if you did this on your own or if there was somebody with you, but it wasn't Chris.
Doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. It makes sense to you. I mean, I don't know. I'm being honest with you. I don't know if somebody else was with you. I don't know if there's somebody else that killed her that you're putting Chris's name on. Is that possible? Maybe. But you're giving us details that indicate that you were there, and I think you killed her.
I didn't kill anybody.
I think you killed Angela.
I didn't.
Who did it? Because you were there.
Yeah, I told you Chris did.
You either killed her or you're our only eyewitness.
I didn't kill her.
Then who did?
I just said Chris did.
You can't make it fit. It doesn't.
You can stop anytime you want.
I'd like the honest truth, obviously.
You can stop anytime you want.
All right, let's stop.
Okay. I appreciate you talking to us.
Yes.
In an instant, Richie's whole story falls apart, and he abruptly brings the interview to an end. As far as Richie is concerned, it's now an open and shut case, and all that remains for him is to stand trial before a jury. But the case isn't closed just yet because there's another loose end to tie up, and that's the extent of Cynthia's involvement in what happened. Throughout both of Richie's interviews, the one constant was his denial that Cynthia had any knowledge of what was going on, But when Cynthia had been questioned immediately after the murder, the cops were unable to obtain any useful information from Cynthia herself. But now, with all the evidence they had uncovered of Richie's guilt, and after hearing Richie's fabricated new version of events, they brought her in for questioning a second time to see if they could find out anything more. By the time of this interview, the detectives are certain that Cynthia knows more than she's letting on, but they aren't sure what she knows or how deep her involvement was. During their investigations, they've uncovered some startling revelations about her relationship with Richie, and they decide to confront her with these details as a way of trying to shock her into revealing more information. In the face of this new information, Cynthia appeared genuinely surprised and immediately denied any knowledge.
We have some questions for you. We have Richie down here. You see him? Okay. Do you know why we have Richie down here? No clue, no ideas whatsoever? Nothing off the top of your mind? We've arrested Richie for the murder of Angela Wilder. You tell me?
Cindy, we've been doing this investigation now for 5 weeks.
Straight.
We haven't been sitting here doing nothing. We've been putting in a lot of hours. We've been working with a lot of other agencies and people. And the evidence, when we talked to Richie before, the evidence, or he said the evidence will show the truth or something similar to that. Okay. And that's he was right. He made us go the long way around, but that was right. We have evidence backing up the fact that we arrested him. Okay? And we also know that you know more than what you told us on day one. And that's what we want to talk to you about. We know a lot more about Cindy and Richie Wilder than we ever wanted to know. We know a lot about your personal life from your electronics and from people that we've talked to. And again, that's a lot more than what we wanted to know or that anybody should know. Okay? But we're talking about the death of a human being. Whether it was a human being that was liked by you or not. It's the death of a human being. Okay? And we want to visit with you about it, and we want you to be honest with us this time.
I have nothing more to say.
But we know that you do. Okay?
You told us that you know that you do, actually, when it comes back around to it.
We have a lot.
You lied, and I can show that you lied.
Cindy, we have a lot that we want to share with you too. That may be a surprise to you, or it may not be. That's up to you. But it's stuff that I would think that you would want to know. Are you okay with that?
Stuff about me?
Stuff about Richie and you.
Both of you. And when he says the last 5 weeks, I've gotten to know you and Richie Wilder really well when I didn't even have to talk to you. I know more about your guys' life than I care to know. And I don't, I'm kind of 50-50 on what your relationship, your marriage really is like, either behind closed doors or not.
Who did we talk to?
Who did we talk to? We talked to a lot of people. I bet you we have at a minimum 30 different statements. That's
From family members, people I work with?
Everybody.
I don't mean any disrespect by saying this, Cindy. I'm a little bit confused about your relationship with Richie. I know he's your husband, but I'll tell you what, you don't fit the criteria of the other women that he's sleeping with.
My
Not at all.
husband's not a cheater. Do not accuse him of that.
We don't
I
have
can
to
prove
accuse
that.
him, we have proof. You
From
want to see?
emails from Angela?
No.
No. We're not talking about Angela, we're talking about Jennifer. We're talking
A
about,
co-worker that we watch her kids sometimes, and she cooks food.
okay, I was afraid that might have been the story that you
Yeah,
were giving.
I did too. This is Jennifer, right?
Yeah.
This is Jennifer. And this is Jennifer Lynn Padilla, or she also goes by Jennifer Lynn Huang. or J-Lo is who he calls her in his phone.
Yeah.
We sat right in front of Jennifer, just like we're sitting in front of you right now. And Jennifer told us about the sexual relationship she's had with Richie since the beginning of the year.
Well, then that's awesome. Congratulations.
We're not trying to offend you or piss you off with that information. We're not.
Because I know it's not true. And you're trying to rattle my bones.
Okay, you want to know what else
Cindy,
is true?
we can play the recordings. We can show you some
Recordings in
videos.
her house,
We
recordings
wouldn't
in
do
my
this.
house, recordings at their work.
Cindy, we wouldn't do this if we didn't have proof. I'm not out to throw people under the bus. I'm not. I don't want to throw
Well, it
this in
sounds
your
like that
face.
from exactly from
No.
day one.
No.
I can understand.
If my ex-husband died, I'm sure I would be the only suspect in that situation too.
We haven't had one suspect. We checked into other people. But Cindy,
Where's Chris at in all of this? He just disappeared?
No, we know exactly where Chris is.
The whole time we've known where Chris is.
Okay? And I can understand you saying, you're just trying to rattle my cage. That's totally, I would be thinking the same thing if I was sitting in your seat. I honestly would. But we can, and I am so sorry to say it, because I was under the impression that you knew about some of it. But by seeing your reaction, I don't think you did. Okay? And what I mean, there's more than one. Jennifer and Richie were trying to have a baby, or she thought she was pregnant even at one point.
Twice. 2 months back to back, she thought she was pregnant.
And as Detective Mattice shows you some of the other photos, you're going to see the type of women that he's been hooking up with. And that's what I didn't mean to disrespect you. That's what I was
This is why you
saying.
went to high school and asked inappropriate questions. He's about 10 years old.
Nobody went to school and asked inappropriate questions. I've got that interview too. No one asked inappropriate questions. I didn't. He was there.
What do you think was...
If dad kisses other women, that's completely
No,
inappropriate.
That's not what the question was.
What was the
That's not.
question?
And you have to remember too, it's an adult I'm sorry, I don't remember how old. Okay, that's not the question I asked. We got information, we had to follow up. Okay? You did not-
Information from who? Her daughter, who thinks she's a fairy
No. It came from an adult.
that they work with,
And we have to
probably.
follow up on it. Okay? Here's the thing. I'm being completely honest with you. I wouldn't throw pictures in your face. I wouldn't say this stuff.
Well, it's just a picture of her. I can see that on Facebook.
Right.
It shows me no proof that she slept with my husband.
I have the proof. I have messages after messages after messages after messages.
That
I've got
doesn't
her
tell me that they
interview.
slept together.
There's people at the hospital that knew they were sleeping together.
Did they record it?
Your husband talked about it through text message with
That doesn't
her.
prove shit. That's text message.
Okay.
You want to look at my phone conversations I've
Do you
had
know
with
who
other
this
men?
is?
No, she's ugly.
That's Joanne. She's at the hospital. You met her at the hospital. You know who this is?
No.
That's another one. And that's not it.
He's got relationships with all three of these women, and
Because
there's
of
more.
text
And they're
messages?
recent. They're recent relationships.
Not because of text messages.
No. We sat down and talked to her in person. She sat in that chair.
100% sexual. That's all it was. She doesn't really give a about Richie other than sleeping with him.
You know what? Richie lost his job because of these little bitches.
Richie lost his job because he lost control of his anger. We have his employment records. We know what happened.
Yeah, because
Not
some
because of
little
these,
girl wrote him up
in
for
your
some
words, not
nothing
because of
that
these
happened.
little bitches.
No.
They love him.
Mm-hmm.
They love him. She
didn't love
still loves him.
Yeah, because
She
her
wants to
ex-husband
be
was a f***ing psycho. They got
Do you
married
know
when she
that
was like
Richie pays for
14.
things for her? Do you know that?
Yeah.
What does he pay for? What do you
Well, I don't know. He's helped her out with car, with rent.
And you're
She's
okay
made
with
us
that?
food. I help people out all the time.
Okay, but he's also been having sex with her since at least
Well, I want to see
February.
proof of that.
I've
Do you have
got-
it on video?
I don't have it on video. I've got tons of. I have her in front of me.
I don't
talking
care what
about
she
it.
f***ing is.
Cindy, I think we have her on video, don't we?
We have Joanne on video saying it.
We interviewed her in her apartment.
I don't want to see a video of them saying I want to see a video of them having sex with my husband. That's what I want.
Cindy,
I don't believe you until I see that.
Cindy, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We have these women talking about having sex with Richie.
And he talks about when they had sex. He goes into detail about the sex they had with them.
Through text message?
Absolutely. And in person, we've heard it from them. It's not a coincidence that at least 3 people that I have pictures of have been having sexual relations with your husband. That's just not, back to back. He hid their number in his phone under a male's
Under
name.
J-Lo.
No.
I knew that.
She's Steven in his phone. Steven. This is Steven. Does this look like Steven? This isn't Steven.
Steven's one person or multiple people?
This is Steven.
Okay.
This girl is saved in his phone as Steven.
Okay.
And he deletes all his messages.
I don't look through his phone. I don't give to.
Cindy,
I trust my
let me
husband
tell you something,
100%.
well, then you're wrong. And we're not doing this to piss you off, okay? This is Richie. We have dug into his life and we've looked at him under a microscope. This is your husband, okay? We can play you recordings of us talking to these women. We'd be happy to do that. We can show you videos of recordings that we've done. We can show you and have you listen to recordings of many of his coworkers that say, yeah, I'm aware of that. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm aware that he's doing that. Yeah, he's in a relationship with her. She works down in this
You know what? If you went to my previous employment, people would probably say I was having an affair with other people too. People like to talk to
No,
this
they never
stuff.
said that.
You went to people at my old job?
Yeah.
The group home that I used to work at.
No, I'm talking about Roosevelt
The
School.
last school that you were at.
Nobody said that. Are you having affairs with other men?
Currently, no.
Were you then? Or,
Never since I've been married to Richie.
okay. Well, he is busy. He's very busy away from you.
And I'm going to tell you, I feel bad for you. Again, I'm going to reiterate 5 weeks. 5 weeks I've gotten to know you and Richie, okay? He is lying and lying and lying to you. And I hate that I have volumes and volumes of evidence of that, and it just kept coming up. Because I see Cindy as someone that's always home with the kids, or at work, or it's just, your circle is just so small. Cindy doesn't get to do all the fun stuff Richie does.
Because I choose not to.
Because you choose not to have affairs,
husband-
which is the right thing to do.
Doesn't have this wild, crazy life that you think of either. He used to work 12-hour shifts and then he'd come
But
home
he
and
made
sleep.
time. No, he made time after work to have sex with these women. He did. And I understand and I saw it. I didn't have to talk to him. I didn't have to talk to you. I saw what he was doing to you over and over again. Why is he deleting his text messages? He doesn't want to get caught.
I don't look in his phone anyway. Ever
I'm not
since
saying you had to. You didn't have to look at his
it's
phone.
a trust thing.
Well,
It
so,
is.
so you understand
He had a
too.
whole different life.
It deletes them from you, but when we run the forensics,
find
it
them.
brings them back up. We
That's-
see the
that's how we
deleted
found them.
content.
And I feel for you. I feel for you. I see that the kids are a struggle all the time. I saw that day in and day out for you. I see the struggles that you've been having. I know you were trying to get pregnant. I know you're pissed off that the people around you are pregnant. I feel for you. And it's absolute bullshit that he had this whole other life. How is that fair? It's not. And you're at home taking care of your child with Richie and these 2 other children that I'm sure you do love and care about. But how is that fair? He's a manipulator, and he has been for a very long time. And I think you do love him, and you care about him because he's your husband and he's the father of your children. But he has been living a complete other life.
The revelations for Cynthia then continue when the detectives inform her Angela had been pregnant when she was murdered, and Cynthia's cold reaction to this new information is telling.
Did you know that Angela was pregnant?
No, I didn't know.
She was.
When she was murdered, she was pregnant. How long was she? I don't have the exacts, but we have confirmed with our medical examiner that she was pregnant.
Was it Christopher's? Chris's?
Christopher Jackson's? Are you thinking that it might not be? Well, why is that?
Because I know her history also.
Okay.
She cheated on Richie with Chris while he was at basic training.
Well, Richie was at basic?
Yeah, I mean, this was before they got divorced.
Right.
She's always been cheating with him since their whole marriage.
It was Christopher's.
Yeah. The baby was Christopher's baby. But she was pregnant when she was murdered.
She was pregnant when Richie killed her.
Don't say that.
But
It's
he
the
did.
truth. That's the evidence
can't
that we've
change it.
gathered.
What evidence?
It's scientific evidence.
What
We
was the
can't mess-
weapon used?
We cannot change the scientific evidence. It's solid.
Well, I want to know what the evidence is. You're accusing my husband
Absolutely.
of cheating on me, of having sex with these 3 women,
Because we have proof.
and now of killing Angela.
Yes.
What do you want to know?
Yeah.
I want to see her dead body. I want to see exactly
She's in
how
a grave. She's been buried. She's been laid to rest.
Well, I want to see a picture. I want to know exactly. You have this evidence. What evidence?
Scientific evidence. And when I say that, that means DNA. You can't mess with DNA. You can't change it. You can't take it away.
That you got from our house when you searched it without a warrant?
We have DNA evidence.
You gave us consent, and that's
Yeah,
recorded.
because you were
and it's-
harassing us.
No.
But it's not from your residence. We have DNA evidence that we took from the Honda. We have DNA evidence that we
Of
took
course,
off.
there would be Richie's
No.
DNA in my Honda.
Of course Rich's DNA is in there. Whose DNA shouldn't be in the Honda?
Whose blood should not be in the Honda?
Nobody's blood has ever been in the Honda.
There is blood. There was blood in the Honda. Whose blood do you think was in the Honda?
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, Angela's blood.
Where was it?
It was in the Honda. We're giving you information. We are not out here
How
to
do I
hang
know
you,
this is
Cindy.
real information?
Huh? This is real information.
We don't, this isn't the bullshit time. Somebody's in jail for murder. We're not bullshitting you.
We're
We're
not
telling
going to.
you the truth. And again, I'm going to explain again. It's DNA evidence. It shows exactly who it belongs to.
And it's not the only DNA evidence. That's part of it. Do we owe it to you to tell you these things? No, we don't. But we want you to tell us what you know. That's why we're sharing these things. Because we know you know more. Were you with him when he did this?
I was at home.
Okay. So did he stay at the house at all that night?
Yes, he came home after work.
Okay. What time did he leave the house?
When?
That night.
He didn't leave the house that
Yes,
night.
he did.
Did leave the house that night.
No, he didn't. I was up several times with the kids and he was out cold.
That's not true.
That's not true. And let me tell you this before you say anything else or we go further. Don't dig a bigger hole for yourself. Because you're in that hole with Richie right now. I will tell you that. Don't make it bigger and deeper.
And understand that we're used to people digging holes. Everybody does it. But the deeper you go, the harder it's going to be to get out. So,
Despite their warnings, Cynthia sticks to her story and continues to dig, denying that she knows anything, claiming that Richie never left the house on the night of the murder, and even refusing to believe that Richie had been having affairs. And still, the cops continue to press.
why did he do it?
I still don't know that he did do it.
He did it. We don't need to say that again. You don't get an arrest warrant and put somebody in jail for murder. And you don't have the proof that they did it. You don't do that. This isn't TV. TV's close to how things go. It's pretty close. But this isn't TV. We're in real life. And I'll say it again. This isn't just stuff getting thrown together. Everything is in order. And that's why he's in jail for murder.
So why did he do it? Just like Detective Mattice just explained, we're over that hump. He did it. Why did he do it? Because he hates her? Because of money? Because of the children? Why?
You're asking me a question I don't know.
I am asking you a question that I know you know. I know you know why he did it. You said you're 25 years old. You've probably matured fast at the wrong point in your life. But you need to overcome that and move on from here. But you know more about what went on. Do we need you to tell us that? No. Do we want you to tell us that? Yes. I want to know why. I want to know how. I want to know other things.
You knew how she died.
I know part of the how. I don't know all of it. I know there's more to how things are arranged and carried out and stuff like that. That's what I mean by the how. We told you how she died. I want to know more of the other stuff. How important is it for you to sit and tell us? I don't know. Probably not that important. I think it's more important for you and for your well-being to be honest with us and tell us. And again, doing this for several years, we can sit here and talk to a person and it's written on your face that you know more. It's not written what you know, but it's there. You know more. Let's start with that. Is that fair to say?
No,
Why?
because I don't know.
So you lied to us, and essentially it looks like you covered for him. And that was during the first interview with you. You lied about that night.
What did I lie about?
You said he was home all night.
He wasn't home. You said you put him there home all night. He wasn't home all night.
When I woke up for the kids, he was home.
In the face of everything, she still denies all knowledge and refuses to accept Richie's guilt. And somehow, despite being certain that she knows more than she's letting on, the cops appear to see her as a victim. They have interviewed Richie twice, and they've seen how easily he lies. They also have seen how manipulative he is, and how he's been cheating on his wife with at least 3 women, while Cynthia stays home and looks after their child, along with the 2 children from his previous marriage. And because of all this, despite suspecting that Cynthia knows more than she'll admit to, they still seem to feel sorry for her due to the way Richie has treated her and the tough life she has led. In the face of the revelations about Richie's secret life away from home, Cynthia remained outwardly composed, but by then she was in too deep to turn back. Whatever sacrifices she'd made and whatever she'd done for Richie, she now knew it had all been for a man who had been lying to her all along. As it turned out, the police were right, and she knew more than she was admitting. They just didn't realize quite how much. And the truth of it all may never come out if Cynthia had been able to keep her secret. But eventually she had to let it out, and she confessed the full extent of her involvement to a friend. The friend then took this information straight to the police, and the truth he revealed was shocking. Cynthia and Richie had been planning Angela's murder for as long as 2 years before Richie stabbed her to death. Originally, he was supposed to shoot her, and Cynthia complained to her friend that Richie had messed up their carefully laid plans through his inability to wait for the right moment to act. Although Richie was the one who carried out the slaying, they both had been as guilty as one another for Angela's death, and it's likely neither would have been able to do it alone. When Richie was put on trial, he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, and when Cynthia's turn came, she received the same sentence. Initially, Richie was banned from ever having contact with his 2 children, but this was later overturned, and the 2 will be free to resume their relationship with their former mother's murderer when they reach the age of 18, should they so choose. However, because of Richie and Cynthia's actions, all their children will now grow up without any of their parents present, and Chris's unborn child with Angela will never even have the chance to live. And all of this unimaginable tragedy came about because instead of trying to work out their differences amicably, Richie and Cynthia chose to resolve matters by brutally and mercilessly taking Angela's life.